Hello everyone. Put these macro tubes over here. I'm going to bring in this accordion bellows. This is the last video we're going to do in our series of basic macro photography tools. This is a Pentax Auto Bellows 2. It's beat up, and I was lucky it's beat up. The accordion is intact, thankfully. If there's a hole in the accordion, then your photos will not turn out well. You'll have light leaks and you will get flare on your images. The accordion's fine, but it did not have a male M42 adapter, just a void there. So I was able to take a flanged K-mount adapter and screw it into some existing screw holes, and it's got the female M42 adapter, so now I can use this to take M42 lenses on and use them with any of my K-mount cameras, which is convenient. So I'm going to take this Takumar 50mm 1 to 1.4. This is a pretty good lens. And Pentax had an entire line of lenses designed specifically for these bellows. In fact, there is one, I believe it's a 100mm macro lens that allows for 10x magnification on the film plane with the macro bellows. And I had a chance to get one of those for $175, and I'm ticked off at myself for passing up on it because that was not a bad price. Not a really great price, not a bad price. It was fair, at any rate. And it was in mint condition. Should have gotten it, at any rate. So the way that this works is, and I'm going to grab my K2 again. The way this works is that the lens just mounts onto the front of the bellows, and then the bellows mounts onto the K2. It's not quite exact with mine because I fixed it at home, but it's close enough for demonstration purposes, and it's close enough for what I do, which is nothing horribly serious. There's a lock over on this side, which is what I'm fiddling with. Now with this knob, and as we talked about in the previous videos, what is happening is that the light cone's being extended, and so what was at one point a pinpoint in the center of the light cone is now a larger percentage of the image on the film plane or digital sensor. So this is as far as it extends. When I have a Vivitar 135mm f2.5 that I put on the front of this, and I just started pointing around my room, and I was getting something like 2.5, 2 to 1 magnification, which means that what I was looking at was about 2 to 2.5 times life size on the film plane from 6 feet away. So for instance, if you're out and you want to take some pictures of the insects in your garden, or very detailed pictures of your coin collection or something like that, or your jewelry, if you want to document it for insurance purposes, something like this will allow you to take, or any of these macro tools that we've talked about, will allow you to take very detailed close-up macro photos. One of the advantages of the accordion over, for instance, the macro tubes is that on the side it says the magnification level. So at 55mm, 4x, let me unlock this lock again, and I'll show you about what this looks like. With a 55mm lens, that's 4x magnification, 5.6x, 8 times magnification, 11 times magnification, and 16 times magnification, approximately. Let's see it. And there are other marks along the bottom for moving the camera forward, because I can lock the lens in place like this. Now there's another lock on the back here, and it's a simple lock, and I can bring the camera forward. This is useful for balancing on a tripod, or this is the tripod mount here, or if you have a slide copier that goes on the front here, adjusting the camera may be easier, especially if you don't have clearance in the front, than adjusting the lens. Lock that in place again. This macro bellows is a very simple one. It's just back and forth for macro enlargement. Some nicer, this broken, this bellows was about $30 including shipping. So this is not the cheapest option. It's still cheaper than a macro lens. But to get it, if you wanted to get a really, really nice top-end macro bellows, there are ones that have 4 rails and they tilt and shift, and it allows you to have lens action between the lens and the camera to adjust focal point and basically have a tilt-shift macro lens, which can be extremely useful for very complex macro photography that is so far beyond my skill set, it's not even funny. So those are also outside the scope of this video because I wouldn't even know where to begin talking about them. At any rate, so in these past videos we've looked at various systems for basic macro photography, and they're all simple, generally not going to break the bank. And the big thing to learn is that these videos were just intended to show you how to use them, the very bare bones. With any of these, strongly encourage you to go out and experiment and try them for yourselves and hopefully make your own videos about how you have successfully used these systems to create macro photography.